All right, well, we are live. This is a new special thing. Welcome to Chicken and the Nuggets. Live, literally live in progress, which is something we used to say as a joke, but it is true now. I'm your host, Jacob Rubb.
Yes, and I'm Noah Reynolds, and of course that is not our names, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. We're both Jacob and Noah.
Yeah.
We're all one here.
Well, and thank you for joining us. Our so far 7 viewers. Nick, how are we looking on that?
Great, 7 viewers.
Awesome.
Hell
Thank
yeah,
you guys so
7
much
viewers.
for being here early. I can almost guarantee 5 of them are my mother's friends,
Yep.
who are our biggest supporters, after all. Shout out to Maureen and Peggy and Julie.
Yes, J-Town we call her.
We do call her J-Town, but not in
different
mixed
reasons.
company. Joining us today,
We have a very
we have an
special-
extremely special guest, and this is the longest it's actually taken to introduce any guest, even though this one's the most special. So it almost seems like it'd be funnier to just kind of continue dragging it out. But no, that's not what we're going to
You
do.
guys just keep going. I'm going to keep eating.
Okay.
Before we get to our guest, Noah, we do have
of course.
food from Chef Pat.
Yes, please, we do. Guys, of course, everybody knows Cookin' Meat with Chef Pat. I'm looking up the name of our dish. We got a very special dish for our very special guest today. And the name of the dish is called... oh, no. I just said it. Arroz con pollo with tostones. Now, tostones are fried plantains. There's also, it's from Puerto Rico. He made sure to let me know that. I wish I could have pronounced arroz con pollo with tostones. Joining us today is, I mean, to give him an introduction, I think, of any kind would be a disservice. Meant
We still have to intro him,
continues
though.
to
We
me
still have to
so
intro
much.
him.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Ken Solomon is joining us.
Thank you so
everywhere.
much.
What's up?
Super Mascot Rocky, and I'm sure that's not how you like to be referred. That will be the last time.
Is OG
I say
Super
that.
Mascot Rocky like your
That
whole
was new.
title?
Yes,
I saw the
yes,
OG.
there we go.
That's very cool because, of course, lineage now and things change. That's always like when football players or basketball players have a kid and they put senior on their jersey, they add senior to it. I always think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Didn't Marcus Morris do it? Marcus Morris Senior.
Marcus Morris Senior,
Yeah, he
yeah.
became senior.
Yeah, like Trey Murphy the third.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Well, thank you, Ken the First, of course.
Ken the First, yep. There we go.
It's a real treat to have you. You've been doing the media rounds, it seems like. A
little bit, yeah.
A little bit. I mean, for our whole lives, a mysterious figure. I always had theories of who might be under the mask, the man or woman behind the mask, of
That was
course.
a-
And
That was a thing.
and it's just it's a real treat to meet you in person and see you and have you on the show.
Appreciate it.
So
man. Thanks for having me.
Abs-
This
of
is
course.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Good.
Yeah. You guys are.
Don't be, please.
yeah.
Cade should be honored. That's
You
yeah.
should actually have.
Yeah. His smile's on that
Stand
guy.
in.
That's so good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. How you doing? You doing
I'm
good?
good, man. I'm good. Yeah. I was quiet for 33 years, and now it's kind of like the curtain is being pulled back by
That's
Toto
awesome.
over there, and yeah.
In almost an Undertaker-like sense, I feel like he was quiet forever, and then now
Yeah.
he has a podcast and is on
Yeah,
every
or
podcast.
even Kendrick, who didn't release anything and then is now releasing a bunch of stuff. We try to make comparisons to the things we like.
Yeah, that's our Mount Rushmore is Rocky, Kendrick Lamar.
Right. Yeah. Jay Electronica, all these guys. I don't even know where to start. We did have some prepared questions. And of course, saying I don't know where to start is a terrible way to start any sort of show or program.
Yes, shout out to 7 viewers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is okay. Usually it's like
People
okay.
are awestruck, of course.
Oh, well,
Speechless.
I am or you?
I am.
You.
We are. The people who meet you, of course.
I am too.
Yeah.
Well, first things first. Before we get into
We're gonna do that?
your whole background. No, let's what is do you like chicken? What's your opinion about
I
chicken
love chicken.
first? Yeah.
Love chicken. It's the go-to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
Who doesn't
the-
love chicken?
way we brand this podcast, Ken, is that it's a podcast about food and basketball. And if you like food, you can listen to part of the podcast. But if you don't like basketball, that's fine. If you only like basketball and you don't like food, listen to the basketball part. And if you don't like either of those things, then you live a sad, terrible life. Is the way we think about
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
Please don't listen.
And yeah, exactly.
Right?
This you will not like this show. To be clear.
Yes. Go somewhere else where you can listen to
Yeah.
sushi talk.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you had a big expose, of course, in the Westward, which has been one of my favorite publications
Yes.
forever. And we don't like to source other
I think
journalists.
Noah texted me like 5 times, be like, "Hey, have you read the article yet?"
Yeah, and would it surprise you if I said I only read about half of it after berating my friend Jacob here? But I want to. Are you from Arizona or Nevada?
Nevada.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nevada.
I even thought about this beforehand. Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
You went to You went to Reno.
So, no.
Just
Ended
ask him
up-
where he went. Just ask him where he went.
I
Yeah,
tried
I'm just
out
gonna
at
make
UNLV.
things. Okay.
I tried out at UNLV, but ended up at Utah State.
That was okay.
Yeah.
Was that way after Tark at UNLV?
At the same time.
Was it really?
I was there at UNLV as the mascot for Utah State when the brawl happened.
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
The
Okay.
big brawl. And I didn't know what had happened all of a sudden, and it was the floor was getting, rushed and yeah, they were hustling me out of there. Security was grabbing me. The other cheerleaders were grabbing me and like, let's go. And it was mayhem.
Is it the Utes? Utah Utes?
Utah Aggies.
Aggies. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you dress up as?
Big Blue.
Okay. Of course.
Yep. Big Blue was the Blue Bull.
Okay. Cool. All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
You can have fun with that one. But what was fun about that is that when they came back to Utah State, everybody, security was crazy. And sure enough, middle of the game, a bomb went off.
Oh, jeez.
An explosive bomb?
An explosive.
Oh wow. Okay. I thought
but
it
it was water. It was a water bomb. Somehow, somebody had rigged it up underneath their bench, and it exploded and soaked all of them.
That's
Okay.
a
It freaked
great-
them out.
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah.
bombs aren't funny.
Right.
Part of me does seem like a Rocky prank a little bit.
Of course. Yeah. You're
Right?
gonna throw
Like, why did
popcorn
I
on
think of that?
somebody. Yeah. Water bomb.
Literally the first thing. Yeah, everybody was looking at me. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, man. No.
I love, by the way, I do apologize that I got the state wrong and the school wrong, but I was very close on both of them. So that, again, we're not journalists.
Hey, as long as it's bordering. Yeah.
Do you have been, because there is just so much to talk about, but so that's cool. By the way, we're referring to Jerry Tarkanian, of course, of UNLV.
Tark the Shark.
Tark the Shark had one of the greatest single draft classes of like a single college coach ever. So that's really cool. And that was kind of like the beginning of your mascot journey professionally or semi-professionally.
Yeah. I went from there to the Nuggets. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you?
23.
You were 23 years old.
Yep.
Is there, like, us as stand-up comedians, is there, like, an open mic for mascots that you can go and, like, practice your stuff?
No.
Yeah. Feel free to
No,
take
back
most of our
then, no.
questions with a grain of salt.
Back then, no.
But you were. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was, and this is what I tell everybody now that, is coming to me going, hey, how do I do this? How do I get to, I'm like, just get in costume and start,
Doing
hey,
stuff.
wherever you can, get experience. Man, because there's a lot of trial and error with this.
Yeah.
Totally.
I had some real bombs.
And it's not always about like
water bombs under a bench.
right. Nice.
Comedy podcast.
Yeah, it is. It is.
7 viewers, Nick?
Yeah, is that where we're still at?
10. Hey.
Really?
What?
Keep us updated on that. Thank you to our 3 viewers who joined
growing.
us.
Any good questions too, audience members?
Yeah, sure.
We're prepared, but we can ask. Nick will
give us some questions.
Nick will watch and yell at us.
Did you finish school with a degree in something or finish school?
I knew.
That's okay. You
Yeah.
know why? Because all the best people in my life are non-college graduates. It's a piece of
Right.
paper that is very trivial, and especially in this world when you can be an incredibly successful mascot and not have to attend higher university.
Right? Yeah. The part where school helped me is all that,
Of course.
all the practice.
Yeah.
But when I got this, I was like, I'm out.
That's
School,
crazy.
I had 1 year left, and I remember. I've told this, but I tell you what, it's worth saying again. tell you what, you hear about fathers and parents and everything either encouraging their kids or discouraging their kids from, stop playing video games.
Yeah.
Because you never know. I mean, hey, go be a doctor, that type of thing. But, man, my dad was big on education. When I got this, I was like, oh, God. I got the call. Hey, we want you. Just, it was tryouts time. I was across the parking lot, basically, at the hotel, the circular one over there by the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And McNichols Arena was over there at the time. And they called me and said, yep, you made it. We want you. First call was to my dad.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Just shaking on the phone. Dad, they're offering me this. What should I do?
Mm-hmm.
And he was so big on education that I just thought for sure he was going to say,
Right.
no, I think you should finish. You're so close.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It is so scary.
So he was
Nah,
psyched.
he was like, hey,
Oh,
hey,
that's
what do you go to
awesome.
school for?
That's right.
to
I was
get a-
just going to say that's what
Right.
education is about, to be able to get a career.
Yeah.
And if you can skip a step, that's great, and not have to go into debt and not have to deal with all other BS
Yeah.
that's associated with college. I don't want to talk about my parents, but thank you for talking about yours. They also care about education very much, and I've decided to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a degree in funny business.
That's right. I was gonna say that's the same thing. I think.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. I
That's
mean,
right.
you
Hey,
minored
Money is
in
money, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. And doing what you love.
That's right.
there's
It's so
not-
true.
Nothing can
Yeah.
compare.
It's so true.
Well, you did minor in playing your tail like a guitar, right? So
right? There you go.
I would have to
Minored in music. Yeah.
So for my entire, I don't know if I could speak for Jacob,
Yeah.
but you have been a staple for my entire fandom of the Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
Just because of my age and not because of anything else. I mean, when the Nuggets became such a big deal for me was after Melo got drafted, which would have been 03, and I would have been 6 or something. And then they had the All-Star game here in 05, I think.
Yep.
And that was just like, everybody, it was just so cool. And, I think that was Dwight Howard's rookie season or something. It was a bunch of, so that's where my
Not
fandom
important,
started.
yes.
And you've just kind of always been there through like, do you remember? Nobody remembers this bit. There's no, I don't have a lot of
No, you're good.
order. But do you remember Balloon Boy?
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
when
yeah.
you came down in a balloon, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, explain it for the listeners too.
So there was a
Yeah.
naughty
Oh.
child, really a naughty family, that they.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
I remember the whole balloon boy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but
so they
what's
did
the bit?
the bit was that you ended up coming down in a balloon that was like a tin foil balloon that looked like the one that was on the news.
Yeah.
And in comes out Rocky, and it was the most incredible. Like, oh, this thing happened yesterday or 2 days ago, and it was like in the writers' room. We got to do a bit about this, and it was great. And that's just one of many memories.
Yeah.
One of my toughest props.
Is that true?
Oh,
Wow. Well, because they have to make it look like that. Well, tell us. Sorry, I'm just gonna tell you. Gonna make a guess.
well, I had to
Stupid.
literally make almost every prop.
Really?
Yeah, that was. I mean, so we were trying to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Do you have a team to help or anything?
An assistant.
Okay.
Yep. At the time, I had an assistant, full-time assistant. And,
Shit.
yeah.
I'm Rocky's full-time assistant.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We came up with some good stuff. However, that one was tough because it's like, do you attach it to you? First of all, how do you make it?
Right.
It was all made out of those fiberglass tent poles,
Okay, sure. Yeah.
and then we're like, what do we wrap around it? Yeah,
That's
that was-
crazy. So can I ask about the creative process for that then? So like you see the news story about the Bubble Boy, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you're like, oh, I can try to do a bit about it, right?
Yeah.
And then do you have to like get that approved by anybody? Is it like a Saturday Night
Everything is-
Live
yeah.
type thing?
At the beginning, it was easy to get stuff approved because it was just the Wild West.
Okay,
Come
sure.
on, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. They're like, you get 5
Just
minutes.
don't hurt
whatever.
anybody, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Or don't hurt them bad. But we, yeah, as time went on through my career, okay, everything tightens up more and more and more. But it was tough to get some of that approved. Other stuff, it was easy. The balloon boy thing, it's always like, okay, so what? are we going to hurt anybody's feelings? Or
Right.
is this too much of a touchy subject? Or,
Right. Yeah.
that always has to
Yeah.
be.
Will the boy be here and get offended, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody was pretty much in agreement on that particular scenario. It's okay to make fun of.
Yeah.
Do you have like a bit or a joke that never made it that you like gnaw at you? Because I think from our comedian perspective, that would kind of drive us insane for like a lifetime, probably.
Totally.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. There were things that nagged at me that I had to get done.
Oh, like
and I would
stuff they
eventually
made
get them
you-
done.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
man, let me think.
No,
on that
that's
one.
good. I'm glad
I-
you
I-
got everything
that's a
off your
Great
chest
question,
because-
Jacob.
Yeah,
Shit.
stumped
It is a good
me.
question.
All right,
Yeah.
well, I need to think of a good
I
question.
usually pulled off whatever I could. Yeah, no, I pulled
No,
off
that's
some,
awesome. No, that's good.
a lot that I wanted to.
And I mean, you made. Go ahead.
I never got to rappel out of a helicopter.
Okay. That one
That would've been cool.
Would have been
Yeah.
a perfect
I got to
NBA
skydive.
Finals. Really? Okay.
Yes.
They've had helicopters like out front too and
Sure.
stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like that might be able to be doable, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wanted to. Yeah, rappel out of a helicopter.
You
would've
have
been
have
cool.
you've skied too and stuff as Rocky? Have
Yeah.
you done rafting, like all the Colorado things?
Yeah,
That's incredible.
Wakeboarding, rafting, skydiving, race car. I've fired machine guns and
Man.
a flamethrower.
In
Yeah,
Rocky,
yeah,
as
yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, they had to douse me in something on that one so I didn't catch on fire. but-
Yeah. Oh,
Where
really?
does the fourth wall begin and end when you're showing up to events like that? Like if there's children there, you're showing up as Rocky, that's it. You're leaving as Rocky. Is that what's going on? And then if it's like an adult, like if you're shooting guns, maybe it's mostly adults. Are you unveiling yourself at any point? Like, hey, we're just the nice.
No.
Yeah,
no.
nice.
I always kept it as under wraps as possible. You know,
Yeah.
it's part of Rocky is, or part of any mascot, I should say. Part of any mascot is, the mystique and it's all wrapped up in the show. Everything's a performance. Everything.
Yeah,
So you have to, always be on brand. Always have to be in character.
Yeah. Even when you're missing your half court shot and you're doing I was this close, it's totally right. You're performing from beginning to end during the games, really. And even if it's not a captive audience, you're still having to work. Which I imagine could be difficult.
Oh, sometimes it was. You show up to an appearance and it's a business meeting.
Sure.
We want you to
Yep.
come in, to this room with our board of executives or whatever, and it's just a big table and there's 8 people in the room, and entertain us.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Sure.
birthday parties in people's homes.
$50,000.
Crazy. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, geez, but staying in character, I broke my back one time, and it was, okay, get me out of here.
Oh
without,
wow! As in
Yeah.
costume during
Yeah.
a game?
Yeah,
Oh wow!
95,
Yeah.
broke my back, and then
Holy shit!
yeah,
What
right
is-
there,
Yeah.
did a dunk. Yeah, it went sideways. And
Wow.
What is protocol? Do you have like a single or anything? Does anybody come get you, or you just leave kind of and you have to get out of there?
Luckily on that one,
Yeah.
we learned. First of all, I was able to balance. It
Mm-hmm.
was weird. Broke my back, and all of a sudden, you have like all your muscles come down to one thing, and on
Right.
your back. It's like a, I don't know. It's all like these outriggers, on boats or whatever. But that when that post is broke, man.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you have no balance. I felt like I was just trying to keep my balance as I was walking out, and the pain was incredible. And
But you walked out. You
And,
got
walked
and
out.
you're all waving at people. Huh?
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
no, I was
Damn,
not,
yeah.
I was trying to stay in character as much as I could. But man, then this little girl,
Yeah,
she's
high
like,
five
"Hey,
her.
Rocky!"
Yeah.
Boom, punches me in the face. It was like slow motion.
Oh, no.
I was just like,
Dear
the
God.
pain just shot through me, and then I'm almost out, and I caught my sleeve on a rail. Oh, another. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
jeez.
a rough one, but
Yeah,
yeah, I got out and
crazy.
then collapsed.
Oh god! How long was that recovery?
Since it was merely breaks,
Yeah, just a broken back. Oh, that's all.
Just bone. It was just bone. So nothing, nerves or anything like that. And that one took. I was cleared at 6 weeks, and then the Nuggets said,
Really?
"Hey, take another 2." I was thankful for that.
Yes, yeah.
Wish the Sixers had the same kind of mentality. In terms of waiting,
Yeah,
I
that's
said
a thing.
a little bit of
Yeah,
an NBA
it's a
thing.
little NBA.
Don't worry about it. Worst team in the league.
That's very interesting. Yeah, that's are you at home then, like watching the games and watching the other mascot? Is there like
No.
or they just didn't do anything?
No,
Oh,
they
yeah.
actually.
Very interested in all this.
Yeah. No, they actually said, "Hey, we'll wait till you wait till you recover and everything."
Yeah.
In the meantime, they kind of leaned into it, and it was. I mean, the town went berserk with cards and letters and.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, radio stations were having remotes where you could swing by and sign a big get
man,
well card. And
that's
things
so
like
cool.
That.
Yeah.
And then they would cut away from the game to Rocky at his house watching the game,
Oh, that's
or
great.
watching
funny.
Lion King or something, And then
I love that.
at one of the intros,
favorite
they
movie.
actually showed a video where it was Rocky getting picked up at his house by an ambulance,
Yeah.
and then arriving at the arena, getting pulled out of the ambulance, and then being wheeled onto the court, escorted by nurses and doctors and everything. Big production. Took this stretcher, stood it up, and I waved everybody,
man.
and
That's
I
really
held
funny.
I held a sign that said on your feet,
Nice.
and I was
Oh yeah.
I put
nice.
a quote next to your,
Yeah.
so on your feet, and so just leaned into it. People loved it, and then when
That's
Rocky
really
came
great.
back, they sold shirts that said, Rocky's back, and it was on the back of the shirt, and all you
yeah.
could see was the back of Rocky, the tail.
Oh, nice.
That's really smart. That's almost like a pro wrestling type thing, like leaning
totally.
into the real
Yeah.
story, right? And like part of.
But
the
I mean, there's just
canon.
very few mascots that are as ingrained in the culture and like marketing and merchandise, but also just everything that it means. I mean, I think of like most iconic mascots, like Philly Fanatic maybe is somebody that comes up.
How is he in real life?
Yeah, is he as nice?
He's a good dude. Yeah.
Do you go
So
ahead.
I know the original, and I know the one that's been doing it for like 20 something years now.
Is that common? People it's like the Supreme Court when you get one of these jobs.
It's
you
like
just
Succession,
stay
right?
until
It's like
the
Succession.
suit kills you.
Yes and no. There's a lot of turnover.
Interesting.
With some teams, and then other guys, they figure out how to get some longevity out of it.
Yeah.
And
Is there a social community of the other mascots?
yeah,
That's really
I know
cool.
them all.
That's awesome.
And yeah,
That's great.
We have mascot conferences.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is there would you say from all the people that there's kind of like a type, or that there's some sort of characteristic of everything that brings mascots in common?
Well, mostly, I guess that's a good question.
We each got a good question. How many viewers, Nick?
All right.
Don't worry
he's
about it.
almost
Move on.
Well, they all dropped off.
Yeah, they did.
They're out.
Yeah.
So when I got hired, it was like me, the gorilla, the coyote.
For NBA,
Yeah, for the NBA.
Benny probably.
Benny was a fat character back then.
Interesting.
And-
Chicago, of course.
Yes.
He had
And-
deep dish.
And then, and then Miami. Let's see, Miami had Bernie. Okay, so, but all those characters were more of the entertainment, like type, just improv type of guys,
Yeah.
Right.
But man, right after I got hired, it was an explosion of gymnasts.
Right.
Yeah, and so
Which makes
everybody
total
thought I was a
sense.
gymnast. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you consider yourself more like a physical comedian then, a little bit more?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
I mean,
awesome.
I can
Yeah.
do most things.
There's
But
no
I was
more-
never trained. I wasn't like like the Gorilla. He was ASU, the Hornet ASU. I mean, all these guys that went to the took titles and
Yeah.
all that. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
During a game, like at the stadium, if you're
yes.
working, are you able to watch the game? What do you do in between your bits?
I don't watch a lot. I
Yeah.
didn't watch a lot.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
was, of course, I'd catch little bits here and there. And, of course, my assistant had to have eyes on me, eyes on the game, eyes on the crowd,
Right.
just letting me know if something happens that I can react to or need to react to, and,
Right.
negative, positive,
Sure.
that type of things. So, I was aware of things going on, but I didn't get to watch.
Yeah.
Do you
that's
have
just-
do you have communication, like people telling or just being able to communicate inside the suit?
No.
That's hard.
No, I couldn't stand it.
Oh,
I
what-
tried it.
Oh, you tried it?
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had an earpiece one game,
yeah.
and halfway through, I was like,
Interesting.
rip that thing out. I could not stand it.
Wow. Well, it makes
Just all the chatter going on the
Yeah,
radio.
yeah.
Well, well, that's it, right? I imagine you're very zen and very like in the moment when you're in Rocky, and to not speak, it makes sense to not like to kind of put blockers on.
Yeah.
In that sense. And would you like stay loose, hit the bike, or stretch or whatever in between? I mean, do you take the head off at any point?
Yeah, you're
during
smoking a
game?
cig in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Kissing babies. Okay.
Yes. I loved to work a
Yeah.
game. There's a lot of guys that they'll go out, they'll do their bit, and then they'll go back and, hit the Xbox.
Right.
And I just never understood that.
Yeah.
And I loved working. I loved working the crowd. I loved pulling off stunts. I loved the skits. I loved everything about it. I loved performing and seeing what I could get away with and push the envelope on. And I mean, it was just a constant thing. But I would run back and get some air real quick,
Yeah.
regroup for a second, go back out or grab a prop or whatever.
Do you have like a set line? Like, are all of your bits pre-decided, and then do you have an order of which you're gonna do them? Like, I was always interested.
You guys are getting deep here.
Hey, we
We care a lot about you, Rocky. Also, we're all performers. We were talking about that. I think there is kind of
Yeah.
there's a lot of connections between.
we tend to not talk about comedy too much, but now I feel
No,
like this
right.
is exactly the same kind of.
What was my fucking question?
Well, I have one if you're.
Well, no, it was something, right?
Yeah, we
if
got-
you have like an order, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes, that was the question.
There's a basic plan, and I know there was right from the beginning there was a set time that was it's Rocky's time,
Right.
And it usually first quarter break, and then the rest is just all improv.
Well, let me ask
That's
this.
great.
This is what I wanted to ask. Sorry, I'm interrupting. It seemed to me that the half court shot was very much dependent on ebbs and flows of the game. Was that something specific? Because that was world famous, of course. Your world famous half court shot. Was that more calculated in when you would do it? Like if the Nuggets needed a comeback, or if there was any intention with when that happened.
That was sponsored, so
Okay.
that is you will do this.
when
Should we cut all that out?
Every game, and then,
Yeah.
so at first I started with just throwing a basket, throwing forward, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I started doing it backwards, and when I started making these, man, after a couple years,
Yeah.
they came to me and said, "Yeah, so Shane Company
Of course, Tom.
and
Tom
wants
Shane?
to sponsor this."
Yeah.
And I said, "Absolutely not."
Right.
Come
You're no
on,
shill.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
You
for
know?
the people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not some jeweler.
Right?
By the way, we do have
Come
an ad
on.
copy from
No
Shane
one
Company.
dictates
Yeah,
that.
we do. Yeah. Blood
And-
diamonds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, show me the money.
Yeah.
Okay, we talking diamonds here? What?
Right.
And yeah, no, I didn't get anything from that. However, they just like to add the pressure. Yeah. So
Sure.
Go out there and
Right.
and at first it was you got a gift certificate or something, and then it became money,
Yeah.
and then it became, they went, that just became a regular thing.
Yeah, because they bring up somebody to win for, right? Is that yeah. So they didn't always used to do that. It was just you mess around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Like they would supply the prize, right? The sponsor, right?
Yeah.
I always thought that everybody won no matter what. It was just to make them look bad in front of the whole stadium, and then like to the side, like, no, we'll give you the winning prize. Like what, like the cup thing? I've never seen. I don't think
games, but
one.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
I understand. You know what? We can move on. I didn't have a point.
Let it fly.
I wanted to ask, so like as comedians too, we do a lot of like you're talking about bad appearances, bad public appearances, right, in front of people during like not great seasons in the audience. Maybe there's not a lot of people. Does that affect you at all? Do you feel that like maybe if it's like half full and the Nuggets are very bad that year or anything like that?
At first I thought it would suck.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, we got like 1,500 people out there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
But I ended up having a lot of fun. First of all, I got more attention.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, when
Rocky presents
when
the
game-
Nuggets.
you're
right?
like the show.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would literally try and shake hands with as many people
Yes.
as I could.
That's awesome.
At least I got to, high five Rocky or shake his hand.
Yeah.
Or something. I had some interaction. So I was hustling that whole time.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. I mean, there was a lot of hate.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
go to back when they sucked so bad, you go out in the community, it was like, Nuggets suck.
Yeah.
And,
Sad.
Yeah. But
Yeah. Well, maybe to like bring that. How does it feel now to have a championship now after all that?
awesome. Yeah. Honestly, so I gotta tell you, the way that played out was storybook.
Yeah.
It was. So I actually retired in 21.
Okay.
My son took over and had a great season. And beginning of the next season, he was starting to feel some pain. Okay. At this point, I'm mentoring. Okay. So I'm there with him. I'm, out. Now I was handing him the half court,
He's
the
doing
ball for the half court shot.
Doing most of it, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was out there and just, behind the scenes, and it was amazing. And he was doing great. And then he was experiencing some pain and ended up having to have surgery.
Ugh.
And so, gosh, it was the end of January. And we were talking, and they asked me to jump back in. I jumped back in. So this is 23. So I finished out the second half of the season and the playoffs and the championship, right? So my last game got to be that game, the game, right?
Game,
Game
yeah.
5.
Oh my gosh, it
Wow.
was just unreal.
You deserve
I
it.
mean,
Nobody deserves it more. More storybook
Yeah.
type of, close to a chapter of a career. It's.
Thank God your son got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's
I mean,
weird. Hopefully, it
was-
was just an accident. I imagine.
No, it was actually just
Oh, wait.
a condition. It was just a condition that he developed. But and there was some. Yeah. Well, I won't get into all that.
That sounds
but
very
yeah,
interesting. No, that's fine.
yeah. COVID.
You don't have to. You don't
And
have to.
so,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So then, and it was crazy because at one point, I'll tell you this. At one point in the playoffs, it's a watch party, and I got, my family's all up in a suite. My son's up there and everything, and one of my old assistants sees my son, tears in his eyes, and he comes over and he's like, "Dude, I'm sorry, this isn't you, man." He goes, "Oh no, that's not why I'm up. That's not it. This
Yeah.
is, I'm just so happy for my dad."
Yeah.
You won a
You know?
championship.
He's
Yeah.
like, this had to happen.
Yeah,
you know, and that man, that meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Then he gets back in costume, and after the surgery and everything. So this last season, he found out that that surgery unfortunately failed.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. So
Dang.
he ended up having to have double hip replacement surgery.
Jeez.
Yeah, near the end of the season.
Yeah.
But he was out there struggling through it as much as he could. I mean, just in so much pain.
Yeah.
So much pain.
Can imagine.
Yeah, and he came back better than ever. But yeah, the Nuggets decided not to continue with him.
Yeah.
So.
Nick, cut out me saying thank God he got hurt, please. All right.
Listen,
what's
we're
that?
comedians.
We're live on
Yeah.
YouTube? Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're live on YouTube. Well, it does seem like it was meant to be in all. Not again, your
I mean,
son
hey,
getting
everything
hurt.
happens for a reason.
Yeah,
It, very,
sure.
right?
it is storybook ending, though, for sure.
Without
for
a
years,
doubt,
but
you
yeah,
can make a
absolutely.
movie about that.
Right?
Which you haven't sold those rights yet, I imagine.
No.
All right, well,
Getting there.
yeah, well, okay, hell yeah. Well, the original, like the Rocky design as a costume, was that have any influence from you, or was that all the Cronkies and the team?
Yeah. So okay, Cronkies weren't in the picture back then.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
pre 99.
Yes. This is
Rocky's brought
1990.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Wow.
Way before you guys were born.
Yeah, yeah.
And
In 3 years.
Yeah.
and yeah, they so they actually, when I got hired, they actually had the design, the backstory, company called Real Characters in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I got hired, they said, "Yep, we're gonna fly you down there, get you fitted,
Yeah.
the whole business."
It's like
What-
4 mascots, this real characters thing, and they create the whole persona.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
the whole
so cool. We
backstory
should
and
work
everything.
there.
Yeah, what's the backstory? Like, he was born in
So-
the mountains or something like that?
Rocky,
He's half lion.
young cub living in the mountains.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's a lightning storm. Sounds kind of cheesy right now.
No.
but
No.
There's a whole lightning storm.
This is what I thought happened.
Gets- He's frightened. He gets separated from his family, runs into a cave, and there's a light in the back of the cave, and it's a young
Michael
lightning
Jordan.
bolt
Oh.
that
Oh, yeah.
got separated from his family.
Okay.
They
All right.
joined forces.
Personification,
And,
yeah.
I
you
never
know,
knew the lightning bolt
Was its own
canon.
character. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah,
I thought it was
great.
gonna be like they touched the ball that those aliens took from Chuck and everybody, and
Space
then
Jam, yeah.
Oh, sure. Is that what happened in Space Jam?
the glowing ball.
We would be so good at that job of
Oh,
just
yeah,
in the writers'
absolutely.
room thinking of mascots and like what they
The
should do.
backstory, yeah.
That's so fun. And so they were the ones that thought of the aesthetic and the design and
Yep,
everything.
Tom Sapp. Tom
Wow.
Sapp was the guy. He also created my son's character. He's Hooper for the Pistons,
Oh,
Oh,
really?
wow.
Yeah.
and he created Hooper.
Wow.
Yeah. Blaze for Portland, who
Yeah.
looks similar to Rocky.
Yeah, Blaze. Yes, Blaze is has
Oh,
yes.
yes,
Yep,
okay.
Which is like, come on.
Yeah.
Listen,
that,
Tom.
that lightning bolt got around, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, sure did. Well, that's cool. If I were that, I would have like a signature thing, like a rap producer drop, where like on all my mascots, they're all like, they all have,
Allergies.
I don't know, some good idea. Yeah, they're all are sneezing all the time.
So that's also cool. Is that company still around? Do you know?
Yes.
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah.
In Atlanta.
Yeah,
That's
in
crazy.
Atlanta.
That's
Yeah.
good to know. Good to
Where
know.
mascots are born. Yeah.
You guys want to answer some questions?
Yeah. What are some
If you have
questions?
a
Nick?
question, hell yeah.
All right. First question is
First question from the listeners.
from Star Island 84.
Oh,
Star
no.
Island.
Mascot is the coolest guy outside of the costume.
Ooh,
If you
man.
can't hear
great
Nick, which
question.
mascot is the coolest guy outside of the costume? If you can't hear Nick.
Well,
Coolest guy out of the costume. There's a lot of cool guys. Man, I mean,
is it easier to answer who's the worst?
Yeah, the worst guy. And
No, you don't have to. Of course,
Worst I
please. No,
cannot
no,
say.
Yeah.
no. You can tell us off,
and
Mike.
why is it
Yeah.
Blaze? Why is it Blaze?
What's wrong with Blaze?
dude, I love Blaze. Blaze is such a great guy, man. He's just so happy all the time.
It's just trademark stuff, at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh, Jack. He's just like, hey, man, how's it going? He's always so jazzed about everything, just so happy about
That's so
everything. I love
funny.
that guy.
That rules.
Yeah.
You wouldn't consider yourself someone kind of like that?
No, not like him. Man.
Okay.
He's just-
You
I mean,
seem
I'm-
like you're jazzed and like to be positive about things, though.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
I wish I
more-
had
That's
that in
good,
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
trying to get
try.
better.
Any other questions, Nick?
Yeah, we have a lot.
Oh, cool.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
What a-
Ken, so from Melvin Banks,
Melvin Banks.
what was the highlight of your career as Rocky?
Highlight of your career.
highlight of my career.
What do you think, too? I just want to say, I was watching your Instagram today, and you have that video at the parade of you doing
man.
the thing, and I almost like teared up in front of that crowd. I mean, I can't. I think that's another performing thing too. where
That
it's
was
just
a
like, man,
pretty special moment.
that's
Highlight
crazy.
right there, that parade. To see, like people had signs up, this one's for Rocky and
Oh, yeah.
dolls. I was even, man, thanks, Melvin. Shout out to Melvin.
Yeah, thanks, Mel.
We, at one point, Cade, he's running along the truck and he sees an old school original Rocky doll and runs back, grabs it from the person, brings it up, got to sign it.
That's so cool.
That was right before I signed somebody's prosthetic leg.
Nice. That'd be cool. How cool would that be? My God.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. That was,
But I've had some really, crazy, like who'd have thought moments.
Right. Yeah.
All over the world. I've been on the Great Wall in costume. I've been,
yeah.
and then just, I tell you what, some of the most amazing times were with Children's Hospital.
Of course. Yeah.
Appearances with, just terminally ill kids
Yeah,
and
for sure.
things like that. Man, I have some really special stories about them.
Yeah.
I can't
that's awesome.
imagine the joy
Yeah.
that you must. I mean, you brought me joy, and I am the healthiest person anyone's ever met. So, if you can bring. Listen, but
You are. I can tell.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's there's just no. You can't really compare that to anything. I imagine.
Yeah.
And would you say you did like a lot of that, like that type of stuff?
I did a lot of did a lot of that.
That's
There was
good.
a lot of I don't want to really it just kind of waters it down when you say charity stuff.
Sure,
Yeah, yeah.
of course.
But those appearances where you get to be one-on-one with
Yeah, yeah.
with kids in their hospital rooms
Right.
and their parents,
Mm-hmm.
just that intimate setting with just the family and you can just feel the pain coming off those parents and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously more than charity for sure, So I don't know what word it is, but yeah, that's great. Any other questions, Nick? What do we got?
From Jacob's wife, Miriam Moreno.
Miriam, my wife.
Hang out with any of the players.
We already answered that question. Oh wait,
No,
no, we
players,
didn't.
yeah.
Players, yeah.
Oh.
Fuck.
Do you hang out?
Sorry, Miriam.
Do you hang out with any of the players?
Not.
Or have you ever,
I didn't ever
yeah.
really hang out with them. I knew them and
Yeah.
and got to know some better than others and
yeah.
everything, but never really just hung with them.
Yeah,
I
Seems like a hard divide in between players and anyone else, kind of.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, like,
and sometimes that's them and or the team and or the
Right.
people that they have buffering.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And now it's probably like 4 or 5 levels of separation between
Yeah.
an NBA player these days.
Yeah,
I bet
it
if
used
I
to be in
wanted,
the old days that
you just walk up to Nene on the court and just be like, "Hey, Nene."
yeah.
Well, I used
Hi.
to go in and talk to Charles.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Knock on the door. Hey, man, Charles in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go in. Hey, man.
I know you talked about that a lot, but yeah, how was that relationship with Charles Barkley? It seems very
Awesome.
creatively good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I got to have got one last punch in on him during the 23 playoffs there
Yeah. What and you were at his last game, right? And was that in Houston?
in Houston.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
wow.
did that become apart? Or how did
Man,
that come apart?
That was
Come about.
Come about.
So the mascot, Robert, at the time, he's like, this is his last game. This has been such a big thing. He recognized that Rocky and he had a relationship, whatever. He's the one that pushed that.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yeah, he's like, dude, we got to bring him in. And they're like, we do not have. He's like, we have the budget. We'll find the budget. We should do this. And
That's crazy.
yeah, they flew me in to do all the old bits
That's good.
with
That's
with
awesome.
Charles. Yeah.
Do you put your costume in a suitcase? Does it get checked?
Let's call it a body bag.
There's a giant cat that's being unloaded from the plane.
Yeah.
It's all put into one, obviously.
Yeah, it's a
cage.
crate.
Yeah,
A crate,
that's great.
yeah. All right, good.
Yep. Hard case.
It was awesome.
Used to be a hockey bag.
Oh,
That
good.
makes sense.
Yeah. I did want to ask you about the like mascots' birthdays. When like there's a bunch of mascots here, that's my favorite bit to see. And
so
then like,
fun.
is that like the birthday of the mascot in character? That's not the actual person's birthday, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
No, that
cool.
was-
Do you
Yeah.
know Rocky's birthday off the top of your head?
I do. December 15th.
Are you shitting me?
December 5th.
I was born on December 16th.
What?
Yep.
Maybe I should have.
That's my son's birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Boston Tea Party. Did you know that? Kate, don't laugh
I
at
did
that.
not know that.
Kate. Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah, Boston Tea Party. December 16th, 17th, whatever.
Yep. That's right.
That's cool.
Nick, any other burning questions?
Yeah, I have some more. So
Cool.
Rick
We'll do a couple
Solomon
more.
has A couple questions.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
no.
Pass.
So Drake wants 2 questions, 2-parter.
We talked about it too
Who is
much.
your favorite son?
Who is your favorite son from Drake?
What was your favorite moments involving an NBA player?
Ooh.
That was a great question.
Yes.
Drake.
Thank you,
Repeat
Drake.
the question.
Favorite son?
Favorite son, and then favorite moment with an NBA player.
Okay. So I'm going to plead the 5th on the
Modern.
son.
Interesting.
Of course.
Non-answer answer.
Yeah. Cade's leaving. Cade's leaving.
Earmuffs, Cade. No, favorite moment with an NBA player. Man, I've had some good ones. Mostly with, man, a lot of them were with Charles. I did have a moment with Shaq where he threw me into a foam pit
Okay.
Oh.
like a little child.
They had a foam pit there in.
I was at the Hall of Game Awards.
Okay.
Cartoon Network's Hall of Game Awards that he hosted with Nick Cannon. And I
Wow.
I won most awesome mascot. So I went and jumped up in his arms. Not realizing how tall he was.
Yeah.
I forgot how tall he was. It was so I jumped up and barely luckily he grabbed me and pulled me up. But yeah, I said, "Hey man, throw me in the foam pit." He actually he took me by underneath my arms.
Yeah.
And
Like a baby.
walked over the foam pit and threw me like he was throwing some kid into a pool.
That's great.
And I literally giggled in the air as he was throwing me. I was like,
Yeah.
Shaq's throwing me.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was just you riffing too. That wasn't prepared. Or
No,
anything?
that was just on
That's
the
amazing.
fly. I jumped up in his arms. We got this great picture.
That's why you won most awesome mascot.
And then
Most
like, you throw me in the
awesome
foam
mascot. That's a great title for it.
Yeah,
They should
yeah.
rename all awards like that. Like this was the most awesome actor this year. You know?
Yeah.
Right?
This person made the most awesome movie.
Yeah. The most awesome editing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's really great. I know you've talked about it too, but I do want to ask about Russell Westbrook too.
Oh, my gosh.
Because how do you feel that he's a Nugget now? Because classically or famously blocked. How many shots did he block of yours? A lot,
Two.
right? Two.
Two.
Okay, two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being, I think, at one for sure, and being very upset and hating Russell Westbrook for a long time. So
Yeah.
it's been kind of a coming of age for me too as well. How do you feel about him on the team now?
Man, I'll be honest. He's not my favorite.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, I thought with that he would kind of carry that on and play a little bit. No.
He's not in. Wasn't into the bit.
Nope.
There was no, like,
No, he was
reconcili-
serious about that, and
Oh no. Yeah.
I even approached him.
Yeah.
Really?
At a restaurant shortly thereafter.
Wow.
And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
My goodness.
He wouldn't even talk to me.
Yeah.
Did he know who you were, or
Yeah,
did you
I
introduce
told him.
yourself?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
introduced myself, and
He threw
he
you
wasn't
into
having it. He
a
was
foam
just
pit.
like, he looked at me like, you know.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to be upset about.
It's,
Right?
It's a weird thing because to me it's very clearly funny in a bit. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I know.
Like yeah.
I know,
Like,
and that's how I approached him. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
that was great, man. I really appreciate. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of something, you know,
That you wanna do,
Hey,
yeah.
mascots, you know, we love to play off of stuff like that, and
Yeah.
he wouldn't talk to me.
Feels like DJ is like a perfect yes and guy, DeAndre, for mascot stuff. It feels like he would always have fun. All those big guys kind of
Yeah.
feel like they're big and goofy and have a good
Robin
time.
Lopez, one of the best.
Oh yeah,
Oh
totally.
Yeah.
Like famously, like all like he's basically a mascot.
That-
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
he is.
He is the biggest kid I know.
If you're
Yeah,
6'10" or above, you're classified as a mascot. Is that correct?
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Legally,
Yeah.
those big heads.
What's do you have any interactions with Jokic or how's your
I love
relation-
that guy.
Yeah,
Love
good.
that guy.
Good.
He's the real deal.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
See,
I
'cause
mean, I knew that was true, but you
Yeah,
know,
We
so
are
fun.
in love with him, which is a little bit different. That's a little bit more emotionally connected. A lot of people love Jokic, but we are in love with him.
In love.
Yeah,
Yes.
which
that-
is kind of
that's
hard to
next level.
reconcile.
yeah,
Always living with a broken heart, basically.
yeah,
Right. Right.
His second family.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
I know a few females that are in love.
Yeah. So we have a line now.
This is the
See?
first time I've had dudes.
Yeah. See.
Okay, I'm a very emotional, sensitive guy. I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah. No, you're in touch with your emotions.
Yeah,
I
you
love
can
it.
break your back and walk off the court. Not all of us are super mascots. Some of us are regular Joes. That's a good sitcom.
That is
Super
soft- with a
mascot with
soft
regular
heart.
Joe. Nah, that
Yeah,
sucks. Terrible.
Let's do one more from the
Yeah.
comments and then we have to wrap up. Nick, one more question. Is our
Mama Jenks wants to know
Mama Jenks?
what has been the most awkward moment you've had as a mascot?
What
Awkward
has
moment.
been the most awkward moment you
Most
have had as a mascot? From Mama Jinx.
Ooh, Mama Jenks. Shout out to Mama Jenks. Most awkward. I don't know if it's most awkward, but I've had tons of most awkwards. Gosh, when you see somebody sitting there and you're like, oh, hey, you're pregnant, you got
Yeah.
a baby there. Oh yeah, that's all of our nightmare, right? Yeah, no.
Goodness.
Yeah, done that way too many times.
Whoa. Way too many.
It's funny to me because you're pantomiming too. You know,
Right?
like you're not saying anything. You're just
Yeah.
like
Right, yeah, exactly. And they
offensive-
know exactly what you're
offensive
talking
gestures,
about.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the thing about, some people say words can hurt, but also just doing things without saying anything can hurt.
yeah. That's
That's why Mr. Bean was so successful,
Brilliant.
That's
Brilliant
all
guy.
those. That's really a mark of like a well, not a stand-up, but of a comedic artist
Yeah.
is brevity, right? Is
Yeah.
your ability to communicate something that's hilarious without showing that you're really communicating at all.
Yeah, right.
That was kind of smart, right? I don't
Yeah,
know. I said
that was pretty
brevity.
That's a big word. Yeah. No, I've had some. Gosh, awkward moments. Well, when you're, when you can't talk and when you can't. I got in trouble one time, sort of trouble. Early in my career, the new president of the team, Tim Lewicki, comes in and immediately hires the San Diego Chicken
Wow.
to come in and do 2 games. Yeah,
Like the chicken or the guy inside?
the chicken.
Like the actual
A
chicken.
physical
Actual-
animal? Oh.
No,
The
the mascot.
San Diego Chicken.
Yeah.
The famous chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
am not familiar with
Oh,
this
yeah.
character at all.
No.
Oh.
But he
This
almost got
San Diego-
Okay, so yep. Look it up, everybody. He was my inspiration. He was my hero.
Yeah.
At one point, one of my heroes. I have 2, but one of my heroes was the San Diego Chicken.
They
Guy
brought him
brings him
in.
in and says, "Yeah, he's gonna." I was insulted,
Yeah.
but at one point in the game, the crowd starts chanting, "Rocky, Rocky,"
That's right.
in the upper bowl. All of a sudden, I'm walking by courtside, and I get this yank on my jacket. I look. Yeah, it's him, the president of the company. He's like, "Did you do this? Did you do this?"
Oh my God.
I'm like, "No, do what? No, yeah, I got all them chanting,
And you're like,
no.
you're pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing this. That's
Can I
great.
tell you one more real quick?
Yeah,
Please.
no, we're fine.
And we'll have you back.
There's another. Here's an awkward one for you. I didn't like things like that, like the chicken coming in,
Yeah.
and then I didn't like being told no a lot. Well, back then, Disney came in. It was like we were promoting Disney on Ice was in town or whatever,
Sure.
and so Disney brought in this like 6-foot Mickey Mouse
Oh, yeah.
doll.
So 26 foot, super reasonable height. Unlike
No,
for
but
guys like
tall,
us.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, tall.
Tall,
Yes,
tall,
I'm
big
sorry.
tall.
I'm sorry. Fucking idiot.
And
Just let
it
him
was in
finish
the,
the sentence.
it was like Mickey came out and set this, big and stuffed Mickey on the court, and Rocky could not be out there, could not be in the bowl while Mickey was out there, right? You can't have two
Right.
a Disney character and a non-Disney, out there at the same time. So I had to wait on Mickey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
As we all do. I mean,
Right. Excuse me.
Listen, Rocky and Ken and Mickey's Mickey, right? I mean, it's like, I mean,
I don't agree with this. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I don't agree with it. I don't agree that he needs to be given special treatment. I'm just saying that's what society has decided. If it were me, it's Rocky at the front of every single line. It's Disney by Rocky.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
it's Rocky's Playhouse.
That's kind of my attitude. That was my attitude at the time. It's my house.
Totally.
So, then it was my job to go out there and present this to some random fan.
Yeah.
Well, I get the call. Yeah, go. Mickey's back in the back now. And I got like few seconds to go out there and grab this thing and take it up in the stand. So I run out there, and I just see this just blank, doll sitting there. I couldn't help it. I took a flying leap, went horizontal, and body slammed this thing from the back, and it just just folded over. And then I picked it up, took it off. Oh, but I didn't know that when I body slammed it split out its butt. All the little white beads.
Oh no.
It was a trail going off the court.
Jeez, that
delay a game.
court stuff would be the most nervous. That would make me the most nervous for sure. If you were to fuck up the flow of the game.
Yeah.
I could care less about a fan.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
I was in the president's office the next day.
Really?
Yeah, getting yelled at by Disney.
Yeah, Bob Iger.
No one
himself.
does that to Mickey.
Yeah,
no one body slams Mickey.
Yeah, it might as well be Jesus Christ himself.
Yeah, you. That's good. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
A Disney character, kind of a little bit. You're in canon of Disney a little bit. So that's
Absolutely, his Mickey's biggest enemy.
Good. Yeah. Did you have anything you wanted to ask before we get out of here? I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, we really covered it all.
I have one more thing to ask.
Why would you ask me that then?
So I
All
can
right,
ask
then
you.
I have to find one more thing.
No.
Go ahead
We're
with your
wrapping
one
up.
more thing.
Bring it.
Are you aware of Nug Life? Do you know what Nug Life is?
Nug Life.
Online?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just wondering if you're aware of it.
That was your question?
Yeah.
If he was aware of Nug Life?
Yeah, because he's like the figurehead a little bit.
Here's my this will be my last question, then we'll go. What's your daily workout routine?
So I lift a little. I also own a kickboxing gym.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
You want to plug that?
Total Fitness Kickboxing.
Awesome.
Fitness kickboxing.
In Littleton.
Maybe I should. I've always wanted to secretly use my hands as weapons and my feet. I think that would be really exciting to be able to walk around the world.
Just knowing
that.
you have
Mm-hmm.
you have weapons
And especially
in your
as
pocket.
correct, as an unnassuming man. So I might check that out. Total
Walking
Fitness.
through TSA.
Exactly.
Right?
In theory,
I
I
have-
want to make this happen in 6 months.
Okay.
I want to be a killing machine in
Wow.
6 months.
Yeah.
By Christmas next year. Well, that's cool.
But I lift.
Lift.
And then I also
Cardio.
I did have a routine there for a while where I would lift off season, and then the other off season I would run a marathon.
One marathon for the whole season.
Yeah.
And
one
then train.
marathon.
And then train.
Yeah. So
up to
I would
it.
train for that one marathon, and then and
So you instead of having leg and arm and cardio days, you had leg and arm and cardio sections of quarters
Yes.
of the season.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a
During
workout
the season,
guy.
as you can imagine, that was my workout.
Yeah. No, that makes
just,
sense.
Just work, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, this has been amazing. Thank
Yeah,
you, Ken,
it's a
so
true,
much.
dream come true. Thank you for coming.
And if you liked our conversation about mascots, plug your pod, right?
Yeah, Between the Fur. My podcast is called Between the Fur.
Yeah.
And
That's
on
awesome.
Instagram and
all that
all
stuff.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else you want to plug? Anything? Promote.
My Instagram is
Yeah.
SuperKen1.
Super Ken 1.
If you want to follow my stuff there.
Yeah.
Sounds your
Yeah.
boys in Detroit.
My boy's in Detroit.
Let's
He is
support
Hooper.
him. Let's
Yep.
support Hooper, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you,
He's
Drake.
Putting out good
Yes.
stuff all the time.
Shout out to Drake. Shout out
That's
to Cade,
actually
named after
Garrett.
Cade Cunningham in Detroit.
That's okay. I never said. So, yeah. No, that's
Drake
Garrett.
was Rocky. Correct?
Yes.
So I okay.
Yes,
Thank you,
right?
Cade, for
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's like, hey,
Yeah.
where'd you go? Utah? No,
Yeah.
he fucking.
I
Yeah.
know.
But
This is-
shout out to Drake.
This is the
man.
most prepared.
Yeah,
we
shout
ever-
out to Drake anyway, right?
Yep. And
So much research. Well, it's been a real treat,
and do
truly.
you see Kate in the camera there?
Yeah, Cade's
Do you?
there. Mhm.
What?
Yeah, wave Cade.
Just
yeah.
over my
out
shoulder.
to
Ooh, well, we can
He's
crop
always
him out or something. Oh,
he's
it's live.
always in the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
People don't know, but Cade had a little headset that he's been feeding answers to you the
Yeah.
whole time.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
The man behind the man behind the mask.
There's a podcast.
Yeah, that should be
cool.
the one.
Shout out Infused Mushroom Chocolates, Noah.
Absolutely.
For keeping the lights on here on the podcast. We're sponsored by Mushroom Chocolates. I don't know if that interests you. We'll take that off air probably. But
Yeah.
and shout out to Dude IDK Studios for doing the live stream and
This is
having
an
our
amazing
podcast.
studio.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm
Hell
telling you,
yeah.
I'm impressed.
Hell
Real
yeah.
pleasure.
Super Ken, super
And
impressed.
of course, Chef Pat for making us this
Chef
incredible
Pat.
meal.
Yep.
that
And
we-
Liquid Death, technically.
Great.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, that's
That's everybody.
That's everybody. Thank you guys,
Thank you.
everybody. We'll be back on
Goodbye.
YouTube, maybe, I think.
Yeah, we'll see.
Peace.